As I was thinking what I was going to talk about in this video, I wanted to make sure that I kind of collected my thoughts and had an organized plan on how I was going to explain these things. Because there's going to be a lot of people that hear what I have to say in the commentary about Luka Doncic. And they're going to say, how could you speak about such a great player like this? Like, how could you find these kind of holes or weaknesses in Luka's game? He's amazing. He's one of the best players in the league. I mean, some people legitimately say this dude is an MVP caliber player. And that may be true based on his talent, and it might be true based on his offensive skill set. But there is a lot to be desired in Luka, and I'm going to tell you guys why and how I poke holes in his game. Luka's game is predicated on body control, timing, being able to hit difficult shots. I mean, he is an amazing offensive player. Defensively, his defensive fundamentals, lateral movement, body positioning, the timing, everything that makes his offense great, he lacks that on defense. It's like the exact opposite. How he tricks people and baits them into fouls, he falls into those traps. Like, it's incredible to see how it's like the polar opposite. But I want to speak more to his mentality. A lot of people give him a lot of credit for carrying the Dallas Mavericks to the NBA Finals last year, and he was the reason why they got there. I'm not going to say that he wasn't. I think it would be an impossible argument to support that without him, the Mavericks get to the NBA Finals, right? That's just not a thing. But I watched him in the NBA Finals self-implode. A lack of emotional control, the inability to stop fouling, getting him fouled out of games when the refs were swallowing their whistles and trying not to call him for fouls. They were actively trying not to call him for personal fouls, and he still got fouled out in games. And the Mavericks got embarrassed in the finals. They were almost swept, right? They had the one blowout game, I think, where they won by like 27 or something. But they didn't even compete, really, if you think about it, to win one game in the finals. Gentlemen's sweep. The series was never really in doubt. Everybody was talking about a sweep, like partway through the series. And these things are coming up again because it's who Luka is. Luka got ejected during the OKC game last night, and it was for yelling in the direction of the ref. He was actually probably yelling at the fan. They were going back and forth all game. But it doesn't really matter. It's just a microcosm of one of his weakest characteristics, qualities, traits, however you want to look at it. Luka's lack of emotional control, his lack of emotional intelligence in these really important times. During this pivotal moment, or these moments in the fourth quarter, it was the middle of the fourth, the Lakers are in the game. It's close. And Luka's getting ejected, getting his second technical, which means he had a first one. He got his second one for something so stupid. Now imagine if you never got the first one, dummy. You wouldn't have a second one to get. But everybody's going to make excuses and blame the ref. There's only one person responsible for their actions on the court. Luka is responsible for Luka. Do not make excuses for a player who chronically lacks emotional and self-control. That's ridiculous. These are excuses. It's bullshit. Stop it. He is responsible for his actions. He's the one that was jawing back and forth with the fan. He's the one who yelled in the direction of the referee. He's the one who already had a technical foul. The only time I see this guy sprint is when he's sprinting to a ref to complain about a call. It happens 15 to 20 times a game. How many plays is he actually in the game for? And he doesn't actually complain to a ref. Luka can be so much better. Luka's ceiling is actually way higher than the potential that he's tapped into already. There's more. He's 25 years old. There's more. He could commit more defensively, work on his defensive fundamentals, work on his lateral movement, lose a little bit of weight, get a little bit quicker, work on his hands in the offseason in terms of defense. he can get better in those angles, like the actual skill acquisition, the defensive intelligence. But his emotions, if he can learn to control his emotions, he levels up. He's like an unstoppable force. I don't care what anybody says. The Lakers' ceiling is tied to him and LeBron being able to carry this team. Austin Reeves is doing his part. And the supporting cast is just fine. They're not a great bench. They're probably middle of the road. You got a couple of guys that can play a little bit. But their starting five is very potent. And in my opinion, they'll only go as far as Luka can carry them. And it is 100% tied to his ability to not do dumb things like this. You guys think this is the last time Luka Doncic is going to lose self-control? We just saw it in the finals. Here we are seeing it again. It happens night in and night out. I'm not going to make excuses for players who get booted out of games by refs. Why don't other players get booted out of games by refs for yelling at fans? Why is it just him? It's him. It's him. It's been him. He's in control of his emotions. Why doesn't this happen to anybody else? Why are we going to sit there and make excuses for this guy? And I know people are going to come in here. There's going to be Lakers fans. There's going to be Luka fans. Some strange way LeBron fans will feel compelled to come in here and make excuses. You look and sound stupid. Players are responsible for their actions. Nobody else. They're not puppets. Nobody controls their movements, motions, and what they say and do. Hold these guys accountable for the bonehead, numbnuts decisions they make. Stop it.